You're in the right place. How many of you here really don't?
Ooh, we're going to have fun.
Yeah, front row. Well, for those of you that don't like snakes, we hope at the end of this program you'll have a better understanding of these amazing animals that God created for our enjoyment. At the end of this program, everybody will have an opportunity to get up close and real personal with the star of our show. That means you get to hold him.
She can't hold me.
You want to hold him? I can understand why. Will you do me a favor? Don't tell him he's not the star of the show. For some reason, he seems to think he is, okay? But for now, let's give our full attention.
I can put a few trees on it, some dogs, some humans. It would have been awesome just like that, wouldn't it? But he didn't stop there. He went on and created many different animals, like this ball python who comes from Africa. He created the rivers, the oceans, the mountains, the stars, the sun, the moon. Why do you think he did that? God's the ultimate artist, isn't he? There's no limit to what he could create. So he kept creating all these amazing creatures to glorify himself because he loves us. He wants to have a relationship with us. Now, the best way to connect with God is through Jesus. But you can see God every day all around you through his creation. You ever feel that way? You don't. I do. And you will. You ever feel like that? Never? Yeah, me too. Me too. Do you ever feel like that? Sometimes. You ever feel like that? Me too. You guys ever feel like that? Me too. But let me assure you.
Yes, I do.
Good, I do too. Even when life is tough, though, God's still there. Did you know that? No matter how tough life gets, he's still there. Sometimes you just have to look a little deeper. And I think what you'll find is that the evidence of God is still there. As we see in this cute little Kenyan Sand Boa, who also comes from Africa. See? I told you God was an artist. He created that little boa to be able to burrow under all that sand and still breathe to get out of the hot African sun. Isn't God amazing? Yeah. And now you know what's under that beach when you walk down barefoot. That's all right. Stan sells beach shoes.
$24.95 and they're semi-snake proof.
So God created all creatures with a protective covering over their skin. What do birds have to protect them? What do you see when you look at a bird? What do birds have to protect them? How about you? What do birds have to protect them? What's on that skin? Feathers, very good. And mammals have fur, yeah. And reptiles have scales, very good. Now there's 4 groups of reptiles living today. What's one group? Snakes. Put legs on him, what does he look like? A lizard. So snakes and lizards, that's one group. What's another group of reptiles? Turtles and tortoises, very good. How about a third group? Alligators and crocodiles. Are you a herpetologist? I'm impressed. But there's a 4th group, and you'll never guess what this is. There's only one representative in it. They look a little bit like lizards, but they're different enough to be in a group all their own. But what? A truth teller. How'd you know that? How do you know that? I'm impressed. Bet you can't tell me where they come from, though.
New Zealand.
How'd you know that?
They read a lot.
They must read a lot. Okay. I better be on my toes.
Last group knew all those answers, too.
I noticed that. Let's just see what some of the scales feel like on some of these animals, shall we? This guy has scales everywhere. Who likes turtles? Everyone likes turtles. All right, shake his hand and say, hello, Donatello. Hola. If you have any pizza, give him a slice of pizza. Want to shake his hand? Be gentle. Hello. Hello there. Who likes turtles over here? Hello. 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 You like turtles?
No, not quite like that one.
There you go. Shake his hand. Hello there. So this is an eastern box turtle. Box turtles are unique in the turtle world. They've got scales here that are hinged. So if an enemy were to attack the box turtle, they can tuck their head in, their feet, and that hinge closes shut, and they are completely sealed and protected from their enemies. Only the box turtles can do that, where they're completely sealed. But did you know God loves you more than a box turtle? Yeah. And He gives us way more protection from our enemies. Who's our enemy? Satan. And when we put our faith in Jesus Christ, God protects and seals us with His Holy Spirit. Pretty amazing? Yes. So God created a perfect world. And He created human beings. And He gave us free will, which means He gave us the ability to choose whether to love and obey Him or not. And who were the very first two human beings that God created? Adam and Eve. Did they obey God? No. So the whole world changed. Death and disease entered the world. Some animals began eating other animals. God knows everything, so He knew this was going to happen. So at one point or another, He designed these animals with the ability to protect themselves from the animals that would eventually come and eat them. And we're going to look at some pretty interesting examples of that right now. Starting with this cute little guy with a purple tail. Does anybody know what kind of lizard this is? Use gecko. Did you buy insurance from him? It's a leopard gecko. And you can find these two little guys in India, Pakistan, my house. But God gave the gecko a very interesting way to protect him from his enemies. See, if an enemy were to attack the gecko, or if you were to handle him too roughly, he'd run off to safety, and guess what you'd have left in your hands? His tail. He can run off without his tail. It wiggles on the ground, another animal comes by and gets a nice little snack, but the gecko's safe, and then guess what happens? He grows a brand new tail. God gives the gecko a brand new tail. Pretty amazing? Yeah. But God loves you more than a gecko, too. He gives the gecko a brand new tail. But when we give our hearts to Jesus, He gives us a brand new life. And you know how long that life lasts? Forever. That's a long time. Okay. Let's take a look at a couple of lizards who come all the way from Australia. This is Sheila, the bearded dragon. And Gizmo. And if you try to rub these guys the wrong way, I think you'll see what their protection is. Spikes. Lots of spikes. These are awesome lizards, by the way. If you ever wanted to keep a lizard for a pet, I recommend a bearded dragon. They're very friendly. They don't get too big. They actually seem to enjoy getting out and interacting with their owners, which is pretty unusual for a reptile. I noticed you haven't touched them. She thought this was puppies a lot. That's 2 doors down. They're awesome little guys. Yeah. These guys are so cool. You can just put them on your head and walk around all day with a lizard on your head. And friends for life. How about that? And I usually get a free hat when I do that. Your hat's too tight. Ah, he needs a lizard on his head. Look at that. And I get my hat. All right, I'll just put this over here with my collection of hats. I don't like that hat. I already have one. There you go. Anywhere you want. He's very friendly. And I'll tell you what. Did you guys do that? If you get a bearded dragon for a pet, you'll never have another roach problem in your life. Guess what these guys like to eat?
Roaches.
Oh, they love them. They're just like M&Ms. You don't believe me? Would you reach in there and get one of those out? Would you reach in there and get one of those out for me, please? Don't eat it. Just give it to me. She wants that. Did you get it?
Well, no.
Well, you gotta try again. And hand him to me. Thank you. And let's just see if Sheila wants a little snack here. Oh. There you go, Sheila. All for you. Ooh, yum, yum, yum.
Gizmo wants one.
Now Gizmo wants one. No, Gizmo. Would you like to get one of those out for me? Reach in there and pull one of those out for me. Don't eat it. Thank you very much. All right, let's see if Gizmo's hungry. Yeah, you can have it. It's for you. It's for you. You can have it. I said you can have it. Yeah. Yeah. Ooh, boy. Yeah. And if anybody forgot their lunch, I think I have an extra one here. They're very good on a Ritz cracker. Hey, these two girls are awful brave, don't you think?
Yes.
Let's see how brave they are. How about getting that one out for me?
Bigger one.
Well, I'll tell you what, pick him up and shake him, and everybody be real quiet. Jesus.
I did?
All right, shake him. He must like you. Usually he'll hiss. This is a Madagascar hissing cockroach. Give her a big hand, I'm pretty impressed with that. Okay, but now it's time to move on. Who said they were afraid of snakes in here? Is anybody here afraid of snakes by any chance? Oh no, we're not ready for that yet. I actually have a few more awesome lizards to show you. This is a blue-tongued skink. See why he's called a blue-tongued skink? He's got a blue tongue. That's because last show we fed him a Smurf. And he's got short little legs. Have you ever seen a lizard without legs?
No.
Well, there's legless lizards. And they look like snakes, but they're lizards. So I'm going to show you the easiest way to tell the difference between a legless lizard and a snake. But first I have to ask, is anyone in here afraid of snakes? Anyone at all in here afraid of snakes? Are you afraid of snakes? What is your name?
Shannon.
Shannon?
Yeah.
What? Last show we had a girl named Shannon who was afraid of snakes. Why are you afraid of snakes?
I mean, I just don't like them.
Well, you have to have a reason.
Some of them are poisonous.
Some of them are venomous. That's okay, Shannon. A lot of people tell me they're afraid of snakes because they're creepy looking. They look like they're always staring at them. Snakes don't have eyelids. They can never blink. They can never close their eyes. So they are staring at you. They can't help it. Lizards have eyelids and snakes don't. So if you're out in the woods and you see a snake and he blinks, you know you've seen a legless lizard. But the fact that some lizards can lose their tails and some lizards don't have any legs shows us that animals can sometimes lose structures in order to better adapt to their environment. But that's not evolution. They can lose structures. What they can't do is take on structures of other kinds of animals and then millions of years later evolve into that animal. They can't do that. And if you want to see a better example of what we're talking about, visit the petting zoo outside and you'll see a zorse and a zonkey. Now, that shows us that you can breed a horse or a donkey with a zebra and reproduce another variation of the horse. But it's still a horse. You can breed a dog with a wolf and reproduce another variation of the dog. But it's still a dog. You can breed a lion with a tiger and reproduce another variation of the cat. But the Bible says that God created animals to reproduce after their own kind. So what you'll never, ever, ever be able to do is breed a dog with a cat and create a new kind. In other words, this lizard could never grow feathers and eventually become a bird. Just like apes could never become human beings. Amen? Amen. All right. Does anyone know what the largest lizard in the world is? Komodo Dragon, which happens to be a monitor lizard, which happens to not make a good pet. But I just brought the Komodo Dragon's closest cousin with me today anyway. This is Peavy. He's a Savannah monitor lizard from Africa. These guys can grow to be over 5 feet long. Monitor lizards have long forked tongues like a snake. Show me your tongue, Peavy. There you go. I train him to do that. They've got very sharp claws, very sharp teeth, and when they bite, they don't let go. So if you want to keep a lizard for a pet, I recommend a bearded dragon and leave these monitor lizards for crazy people.
That's why he has one, I don't.
Back you go, Peavy. And I'll just count my fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's always a good thing. Some of you met Taz upstairs. Taz is also in the monitor lizard family. He's a South American monitor lizard. He's a tegu, an Argentine black and white tegu. And he'll also grow to be over 5 feet long. He's being very rude, isn't he? All right, Taz, let's go back. Pretty cool lizards, huh? But now it's time to move on. Time to move on to Shannon's favorite reptile. Can we do that?
Yeah.
Show goes on. Hey, you can read about snakes in the Bible. In the 3rd chapter of Genesis, we see that Satan appears to Eve in the form of a snake and tempts Adam and Eve into committing the very first sin. That's when everything changes, and I think that's where snakes get their bad reputation from. But if you look in the book of Isaiah, chapter 11, verse 8 says that children will lay their hands on cobras and not be harmed. That's how it was before Adam and Eve sinned. Everything was perfect, and everything lived in peace and harmony. Anyone hear some good news? It's going to be that way again. Did you know Jesus is coming back? When we give our lives to Christ, we're going to live forever with God in heaven. Won't that be awesome? Does anybody know what kind of snake this is? A what? No. He is a corn snake. And he's called a corn snake because of the pattern on his belly. It looks like Indian corn. But why did God paint this corn snake with these beautiful colors and patterns when he created him? What? Camouflage? Yeah, what's camouflage? How does it do that? He blends in with his surroundings very good. You can find corn snakes in South Carolina. If you've ever been to South Carolina, the dirt is very orange there. So if you were crawling around where he lives and you were walking by, you probably wouldn't even notice him, would you? Because of his camouflage, right? Okay. If that's the case, I want you to tell me where this next snake could blend in. Stay back. The only place I could think of for him to blend in would be maybe a crayon factory. Does anyone know what kind of snake that is? Coral snake. Guess what? Coral snakes don't need camouflage coloring. Do you know why? No, because they are venomous. They are very venomous. In fact, they can kill you. So other animals and smart human beings, stay away from them. Now, what is your name? What's his name? Grant? Can I ask you a question, Grant? Will you give me an honest answer? Okay, I'll make it a simple yes or no question, Grant. And you just say yes or no, but be honest. Here's your question. Do I look stupid? I think he said yes. Grant thinks I look stupid, but that's okay. I told him he had to be honest. And honesty always pays. So here, Grant, have a little toy snake. But I have to tell you something. I'm not as stupid as I look. See, this looks like a coral snake, but he's not. If this were a highly venomous coral snake, I wouldn't be holding him. I'd make Stan hold him. He's actually a harmless Pueblan milk snake from Mexico. He mimics the coral snake. Now think about this. Here's a non-venomous snake. He looks like a venomous snake. He fooled some of you into thinking he's a venomous snake. Do you think that just happened by accident? No. That's a highly intelligent plan from a very creative designer and shows God's amazing diversity in his creation. But if you know your snakes well, you know how to tell the difference between a milk snake and a coral snake. In fact, there's a poem that makes it easy. Does anyone in here know how that poem goes?
Red and black.
Oh, do you know the poem? What's your name?
Mary.
Come on up here, Mary. We need you to do us a favor. First of all, Mary, you have to hold this coral snake.
Black and yellow.
Turn around, I already know it. How's it go?
Black and yellow, kill a fellow. Black and red, you're not dead. Something along those lines.
Where do you live?
No, in Georgia, but I'm not originally from there.
You live in Georgia?
Yes.
You're in deep trouble. There are coral snakes in Georgia. And you didn't get it right. Try again. I'll give you an if red.
You're dead.
Well, there's red on both of them.
It's more orange.
Well, it's red. It's red. Let me help you out. If red touches yellow, you're a dead fellow. If red touches black, you're okay, Jack. You got it right now?
Yes.
You remember that now when you go back to Georgia, okay? Because you help her because you have these there. It's how God arranged the colors on these animals when he created them. Red never touches yellow on the milk snake, and red never touches black on the coral snake. Good to know if you live by coral snakes like she does. All right. Now I like milk snakes because they come in some beautiful colors and patterns. This is the Pueblan milk snake from Mexico. Here's a beautiful milk snake from Honduras. This is the Honduran milk snake. And red touches black, so I'm okay, Jack. Isn't he beautiful? Isn't that a beautiful snake? Shannon, you have to admit, that's a pretty snake. Ah, you can hold him. Hold your hands out. Wait a minute, she's going to do this? Who wants to see Shannon face her fears today? You have a whole fan club here. You put one hand there. And you are holding the only snake I own that bites on a regular basis. Look at that. I give Shannon a hand. She faced her fears today. That's an amazing thing. And this is what they normally look like. Sometimes God gets very creative and you can find rare color morphs. I like to collect rare color morphs. So here's a very, very rare Honduran milk snake. They've never been found in the wild this color. Yeah, he came out mimicking Nemo. If he were a corn snake, I'd have to call him a candy corn, wouldn't I? Isn't he beautiful? You probably want to hold this one too, don't you? All right. So, has anyone in here ever seen a white snake? This is a corn snake. He happens to be an albino corn snake. Now, he's a bit of a problem for some evolutionists because he has a mutation that's a huge step backwards, not forward. See, he wouldn't survive too long in the wild without his camouflage, would he? No. And not all albinos are white. Now, who likes snakes? A whole lot in here. Come on up here. I need you to do me a favor. First, I need you to hold this guy. Then I need you to turn around and face everybody. You know why I want you to face everybody, don't you? Well, see, if he bites you, they all want to see it, right? I know Shannon wants to see it. All right. So this is also an albino corn snake. He's an amelanistic albino. That means he lacks the brown and the black pigment, but he still has the red and the orange. And that's what that second Honduran milk snake was, an amelanistic albino. Who else likes snakes in here? You do? Come on. Hold your hands up. Now you have to face everybody too, because that snake always bites. I'm just kidding. Are you having fun? I believe you.
Use this one after what happened.
I think so.
I wouldn't do it.
If you breed a corn snake with an Emery's rat snake, you get a creamsicle corn. Yeah, put a bunch of these in a can and you have creamed corn. And my jokes get cornier the more corn snakes I hold. Who else likes snakes in here? Come on up here. I'm going to let you hold Killer. You turn around. And if you like corn on the cob, you might want a little butter with that corn on the cob. This is a buttercorn snake. Who likes butter? You do? Come on up here. You can help her if you want. Come on. Hold your hands out and turn around and face everybody. And then I bred this snake a few years ago, and it was so weird I had to keep it. Instead of a corn snake pattern, he came out with polka dots. A polka dotted corn snake. You like polka dots? Well, come on up here. I need you to hold my polka dot snake. Turn around, be gentle. These are some of the different color morphs that you can breed corn snakes in. Of course, this is what they normally look like. So who needs a necklace? You do? Come on up. Turn around. There you go. Everybody, I'd like to introduce you to the Addams family. Give my brave helpers a big hand. Take their picture. The snake people. I know Shannon wanted to do that. Can I have my snake back, please? Thank you. I'll just put him right here. Can I have my snake back, please? Thank you. Were you bored up here?
Yes.
I thought so. You tied my snake in a bunch of knots. You must have been bored, all right. Well, listen, now I have to untie him, and I'll just put him right here. And I'll take this guy back from you, please. You're all wrapped up in your work. Thank you. Are you trying to steal my snake?
It's up in my neck.
I see that. I'll go over here. I'll just take him back. Put him right here. Oh, I know. Snakeskin belt, right? Can I have that snakeskin belt? Thank you. Very good. And I'll just put him right here. Oh, look at that necktie. I like it. I like it. I'll just take him back. Thank you.
Hey, Rick,
Yeah?
you have all 7 of them now?
Well, let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I'm missing one, Rick.
Shannon, I had 7 a minute ago. And the last time I looked, he was heading right towards you. So you better check that camera case before you go to bed tonight. All right. Okay, so after sin entered the world, some animals began eating other animals. What do you call an animal that eats other animals?
Hungry.
Besides that. Or carnivore. Snakes are carnivores now. So they might just crawl up and swallow an animal. Some snakes use venom. The venomous snakes have 2 glands on the side of their head that produce venom, and 2 hollow fangs that act just like a hypodermic needle. Just like when you get a shot at the doctor's office. Those fangs inject the venom into the bloodstream of the animal they're going to eat. It acts very quickly to kill them, and then they swallow it. Only the venomous snakes have those hollow fangs, but all snakes have teeth. In fact, all snakes have several rows of very sharp teeth, and all snakes can bite. Thought I'd tell you that after you helped me. And what's the third method snakes use to overtake prey? Constriction. What do you think of when you think of a constrictor? A boa constrictor. I'm thinking of corn snakes right now. Corn snakes are also constrictors. They can swallow animals that are 5 times bigger than their own head. Want to do an experiment? Show you what I'm talking about?
Yes.
No. I'm not going to feed anybody to a snake today. I just want to see who's got the biggest mouth in here. So on the count of 3, I want to see your biggest yawn. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, you got a whole room full of big mouths.
There are a lot of big mouths in here. However, what is your name? Sophia, congratulations. You have the biggest mouth in the whole class. Have you ever been told that before? See, I thought so. Have a snake for being a good sport. But if you can believe this or not, these animals can open their mouth wider than Sophia.
Are you sure?
Let me see that yawn again. Oh, maybe not, maybe not. The way they do that, their jaws are very loosely hinged. So they can open that mouth all the way up like that. Then their skin stretches like elastic, and those muscles pull that animal down into their stomach, where they just sit and digest for a long, long time. Because these animals eat such large prey, they don't have to eat every day like a dog or a cat. In fact, in the wild, these animals might only eat one meal a month. And some snakes are famous for going a long time without eating, like the ball pythons. They've been known to go a year and a half without a meal and still remain healthy. Pretty amazing, huh? All right, we got them all put away. We can continue. Where was I? What are you laughing at? Didn't I get them all put away? I thought so. No. Oh, this guy. Thank you. Glad you saw that. They would have kicked me out of the grocery store later. All right, so reptiles grow their entire life. With snakes, as their old skin dies and their new skin grows, they just crawl out of their old skin. Usually all in one piece. So you can pass that around, sir. And you can pass this around. And then some snakes, the babies are born alive. Some snakes lay eggs. All these snakes lay eggs, except the sand boa. So here's some corn snake eggs that have hatched recently. And here's some of the cutest babies in the world that hatched out of those eggs. Oh, they are so cute. They're just a month old. I bet Shannon even thinks they're cute. Aren't they cute? Yeah. Yes, they can see. Snakes don't have real good eyesight. They see movement more than detail, but yeah, they can see. Now, snakes can't hear. They don't have ears. See the babies? I've got plastic aquariums out for sale if you want to see me after the show. There's some baby snakes here. In the meantime, we've got a couple of friendly pythons who want to say hi to everyone. But snakes can't talk, can they? So these pythons use sign language. If you look at the pattern here on Jumbo, which means, by the way, does anybody know what Jumbo means in Africa? Hello or hi. So this is Jumbo. We're going to see if he lives up to his name. Look at the pattern by his tail, and he'll say hi to you. See the H-I? Hi. Hi, Shannon. You need a closer look? That one says hi, too. And these beautiful animals are jungle jaguar carpet pythons. They come from Australia. They can go to be 9 feet long. And they're arboreal snakes, which means they live in trees. Arboreal snakes have to be very strong, so if they're hanging out on a branch and they fall, they can climb right back up. So we're going to have a little contest here and see who's had the best ab workout today.
First one up gets a bite, Rick.
I thought the first one up gets a rat.
That too.
Good, then we'll take ours extra crispy because we just won. Jumbo wins.
Gave me a defective snake.
So now we got to get Jumbo back in the box. You've heard of Jack in the box? This has to be Jumbo in the box. One down. Almost. And one to go. So let's get Jenga in the box. Jenga likes everybody. She doesn't want to go in the box. There we go. Okay, I've got a question for everybody. Has anyone in here ever heard of the very venomous, very deadly black mamba from Africa? You've heard of the deadly black mamba? Have you?
Yes.
Well, this isn't one. I just asked if you ever heard of one. Why didn't you scream or jump or anything? She didn't believe me. Because usually I say it's worth $3.50 to see her scream, but anyway. This is a black milk snake from Costa Rica. I thought you might want to see what a snake feels like. They're not slimy. They're very dry. They feel like a garden hose or a basketball. Yeah. Very dry. Very smooth. Isn't he beautiful? Look, Shannon even likes that one. I think she wants one of those little baby corn snakes now.
Sorry, what was the name of that one again?
A black milk snake. You can find them in Panama and Costa Rica, all the mountainous regions of Central America. And before we had Christ in our lives, we lived in darkness, right? But if you put your faith in Jesus, He'll wash your sins away, white as snow. This is an albino bull snake. Bull snakes come from this country. They're one of the largest snakes we have. They can grow to be 8 feet long. I'll show you what they look like normally. This is an albino. Although even this next one I'm going to show you isn't exactly normal. He is an extremely yellow bull snake. If you've ever seen bull snakes in the wild, they're usually pretty brown. But this was the most beautiful bull snake I've ever seen in my life. So I had him shipped to me from California. Yes, you can ship snakes. Federal Express. That's a beautiful bull snake or what? They live where rattlesnakes live, and so they'll rattle their tails and they'll hiss and they'll open their mouth and you'll think they're going to kill you. And it's usually all bluff. But he used to do that, but he's been handled enough now where I can't get him to put on his bluff for anybody anymore. Guess he likes you guys too much. But now I'd like to show you what's probably going to be the rarest snake you'll ever see in your life. He's a Texas rat snake. Texas rat snakes are actually pretty common, especially if you live in Texas. But this Texas rat snake just happened to be born without any scales on his back. So he is extremely rare, and he doesn't even feel like a snake at all. He feels more like suede. That's an extremely rare mutation, and he actually does shed his skin. It's just a very, very thin skin. He seems to get along just fine without scales. Isn't that crazy? Doesn't even feel like a snake. Isn't that weird? Well, snakes are cold-blooded, so they're going to be the same temperature as their surroundings. He was sitting in this air-conditioned room, so he's going to feel a little cold. As I'm holding him, he will warm up because he will absorb my body heat. They have no body heat of their own. So that's a scaleless Texas rat snake. Very, very rare. But have you ever seen cute little baby pythons in the pet store before? And have you ever been tempted to bring one home? Yes. Who said yes? Might want to think twice about that. Some of those cute little baby pythons are 3 feet long when they hatch. And then you know what they do? They grow. And they grow. And they... You get the idea. Would you like to meet Daisy, a little 7-year-old python I brought with me today?
Yes.
Well, I'd like to introduce you to Daisy, but I have a problem. Daisy keeps growing. And I don't. So I need about 4 big, strong, adult, volunteers who are willing to help me get Daisy out of the box. Number 1. Number 2. Number 3. Number 4. Come on up. Is your life insurance paid up? All right, she's smiling. So. All right, come on. Let's get Daisy out of the box. Come on, Daisy. I'll take this part. You guys get on the other side. And do the limbo here so you got her in front of you. Lift your head under. Have a seat. Have a seat. There you go. Let me stretch her out here. You guys stretch her out. Everybody, I'd like to introduce you to Daisy. Daisy happens to be a little albino Burmese python from Southeast Asia. Did you notice I said little? Well, that's because Daisy's only 15 feet long and only weighs 100 pounds. But when Daisy grows up, she can grow to be about twice this size. And that's why I tell you not to buy Burmese pythons in the pet store. Not because they're mean, vicious creatures that want to attack and kill you like you see on Animal Planet and Discovery Channel. Most Burmese pythons get very tame. But here's the deal. Snakes aren't very smart. So Daisy doesn't know the difference between you or me or a tree. In fact, she probably thinks she's in a tree right now. So what do you think she would do if she thought she was falling out of that tree? She'd hang on a little tighter. And that's how accidents have happened. Not attacks, but accidents. They're very strong and powerful creatures. If you want to keep a snake for a pet, I recommend a baby corn snake. And leave these giants for the experts. But I hope I've sparked your interest with these animals today. So when you're out and about and you see a beautiful animal like Daisy, you give God all the glory for it. Because who created all these amazing creatures? God did. So I've got two more things to tell you. Then I'm going to let you come up and get your picture taken with Daisy. Shannon. It's going to be a great Christmas card picture, all right? We'll just write Merry Christmas. Number one, if you think your church or your school, your VBS, your birthday party, whatever event you're having, would be interested in having Snakes Alive, come and do this program there. Take one of my brochures when you come up. It's got all my information on it. They're free. They'll be on the table. I also have a DVD here that breaks my show down into short little episodes without an audience. Take one of these home for a donation of your choice. All the proceeds go back into the ministry. They feed my animals, get those rare specimens and permits and liability insurance. Here's the important thing I want to tell everybody in here today. Everyone in here has something that you love to do. It's your passion. And you're probably pretty good at it. That's because God gives everyone a gift or a talent. Now, when you take your passion and you glorify God with it, you're doing ministry. It tells us in 1 Peter 4:10 that as each has received a gift, we should minister to one another, being good stewards of God's grace. He's found a way for me to do ministry with my passion for reptiles. He can do the same thing for you with whatever gift He gave you. So pray about how you can use your talent to glorify Him, spread His word, and you'll be amazed at the doors that God will open up for you. Okay? Okay. Before I let you come up, are there any questions about any of these animals that you might have? Any questions at all?
How long will that snake live?
About 30 years is the lifespan of a big python, yes. She is about 15 feet long.
And it'll continue to grow until he's 30, right? It'll continue to get longer?
Correct, but it slows way down. Most of their growing is in the first 4, 5, 6 years. Daisy only eats one meal a month, but when she does, she eats a 10-pound rabbit. One a month. Frozen thawed. I don't feed any of these animals live. I buy all my rodents frozen, and then I thaw them out to room temperature and throw them in there. And it takes about an hour to get it done. Yes?
What do they eat?
Well, the little snakes I brought eat mice, the bigger ones eat rats, and she eats rabbits.
I got a question for you then, Rick.
What's your question?
How come you gave that nice young lady the dangerous end of the snake?
Oh, she's got the dangerous end?
Well, I think so.
How's that?
Well, that 10-pound rabbit goes in here.
Yeah.
It's digested in here.
True.
And it comes out right back there.
Oh, have fun with that. All right, here's how we're going to do this. Line up by group or family here if you want to get your picture taken. Helpers, we're going to get on this side of Daisy so we can hand her off to each group. So do the limbo again. And when your group comes up, just jump in with them. Andrea, was that your name? She's all wrapped up in her work right now. She's going to be our photographer. So, where's all my groups? Come on down. How many of you? 4, including him. So you get in here with him, and Andrea, right? Give your camera to Andrea, she'll take your picture. And everybody take a hold of Daisy. Plenty of Daisy to go around. Get on this side. You want to be on this side? Yeah. We'll give you the part with the teeth. How about that? Move down there by the tail. All my helpers step aside. Look at Andrea and say squeeze. Maybe you better say please don't squeeze. That can be your Christmas card picture. Very good. Helpers come back. I need my helpers back. Where they go? Don't go far. And I need another group down here or another family. Come on down. This will be a great family Christmas card picture. While you're up, grab a brochure or a DVD. Come on down. How many in your family? 5. Line them up here. Give your camera to Andrea. Should we give Dad the part to see it? All right, spread out. Spread out, look at the camera. Say squeeze! Very good. Take a few while you have. Oh my God, 50, 200 pounds. 25 people. Helpers come back. Where's another group? Come on, Shannon, you gotta do this. You gotta do this. Come on down. So now you have to jump on the other side. Here we go. Put her on the end. And we got a nice little Christmas card picture right there. Are you guys next? Come on down. Come on down. They are. Who's they? Okay, come on in here. I'll take your place and you give her your camera. And you jump right on in here. You guys spread way out if there's only 3 of you. And look at the camera. She might give you a little kiss while she's up there. Are you alright with that? Okay.
Don't back up. Don't move your feet.
Don't move your feet. You don't want to step on her. There you go. She is heavy. Alright, very good. Need my helpers back? And I need another family. Come on down. Come on down. Yeah, she's heavy all over. We got a big group here. That's alright. It's a big snake.
No, you get on the edge.
You're having way too much fun. Alright, look at Andrea and say, squeeze. I don't know, that beard is awful fuzzy like a rabbit. I have snakes that do bite, yes. I don't use them in the shop. Yeah. If they bite, I usually don't use them in the shop. All right, who's next? Who hasn't done this yet? Shannon. You want to do this?
No.
You're going to make him do it all by himself? All right, turn around. She's going to make you do it all by yourself. Turn around. Right there. Now spread your other arm out there. Here you go, Shannon. Now if she swallows him, it's all your fault for not helping him, you know. I'm going to go to lunch, but I'll be back in an hour. Boy, he's making that look easy. I don't think I can do that. That's just because she's cold. Now Shannon gets to do it all by herself. Anybody else? Has anyone not done this yet? You gonna try it by yourself? Come on up here. I need some helpers back to help me put him on his shoulder though. Come on, Macho Man.
Is that real?
Yes, it's real. That's why it's called Snakes Alive. Huh? Yes. All right. Here we go.
It's in my back pocket.
Man, these guys are strong.
Wait, where are we?
The brochures are.
Yours are, yes.
I don't want to go in
Pickpocket snake. Everything she pulls out is mine.
Oh, we're gonna have to trade it for retrieve walls.
Exactly. Okay, these two, come on up. We're gonna need some help here with these two, although, did you do it? No, you didn't do it yet. Okay, come on up here. Let me untwist it.
What kind of snake?
She is an albino Burmese python.
Oh my.
Come on up here on this side of me.
Come on, let's get out of here. We've seen it, right? It's real.
Hold your hands out. And you're gonna help her? Okay. There you go. And he'll help you on the end there. How's that? Get her face in the picture. There we go. Oh, there's a good one right there. Can you see her face? Oh, here we go. Here we go. Take some now. Take some now. Very good. He wants to do one by himself, right? All right. Look there. There you go. That's the last picture right here. Put your arms all the way out. There we go.
Oh, man.
Good job. Now help me put her back in the box, guys.
Bring the tail over here. All the way to the back.
There you go.